Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 76 of my 100-day project. I'm working in gouache and 3/4 of the way done. I am prepping for my first maker's market of the season, which is tomorrow at Arlene's Artist Materials in Albany, a fabulous community and a wonderful, wonderful shop. Super excited to be there, and I've left a lot of my prep to the day before, which is very typical for me. And in fact, I did some prep earlier this week, which I'm really proud of myself for. I did all my printing and everything yesterday, so that was really great. So I am wanting to do something very quick today, and sort of a study-ish, if you will. I mean, all of these, I guess, are sort of studies, but I just started making a mark and drawing a figure, and it looked like a man, and I thought, well, maybe he needs a partner. So I drew a partner, and then it kind of looked like a couple. So I thought, oh, maybe they're with their child, and wouldn't it be fun for them to kind of be looking out at their child running towards something? And so I get a little figure in here. And of course, a lot of this is inspired by my own family, right? So, yeah, it was a no-brainer for me. So I'm getting this smaller figure in there. They're all kind of in motion. The lines are fuzzy. I'm moving quickly. This is sped up, but even though it's sped up, I was still moving quickly. So again, this was like no fuss, no worries, just fun, imagining this family together. And as I was adding a little bit of interest into my focal point figure here, I thought, okay, well, what is it that this child is running towards? So I thought about it, and my first thought was, well, let me put a horizon line in, and I'll start with that. And I didn't want to do anything super complicated. I've got some complex shapes with these figures, so to paint around them is a bit of a pain. So I thought, well, maybe they're at the beach. And it's that idea of sort of running into the water and that sense of abandon that comes with just being super excited. Maybe it's their first time at the beach together. And maybe it's a sunset because I picked that pink color. So it was like, okay, well, let me go with that. And I'm just using colors that were in my palette from the paintings that I've been doing over these last 6 days. So these are all just the colors that were dry that I just reactivated. And these are pretty thin washes. So this is, I'm treating this almost like more like watercolor than gouache, in that I'm not doing a lot of layering. In fact, I think maybe this has 2 layers at most in pretty much every area that has layers. A lot of it is just 1 layer, and they're pretty thin washes because it's just me activating what was already there. So I'm bringing in some yellow into the foreground to warm up what's there. Maybe this is sand and the pinky bits are water. I don't know. You can interpret it however you like. Adding a little bit of that yellow now into the sky. And in the upper part of the sky, I've got some of that Prussian blue and a little bit of cobalt teal up there. And that's going to tie the sky, the upper part, into the figures. So I've added a little bit of that pink in there to kind of get that going. And then I'm doing my best to let that dry. So I'm coming in and adding a little bit of that yellow now around the edges of the figures, just to make it look like the light is hitting them. They're backlit, and a little bit of orange there. I love purple and orange together. So kind of just trying to harmonize, bring some things together. Darkening the shadow a bit. And now I'm adding in a shape that would represent the sun as it's setting there. And I realized, as per usual, when I took my phone down after filming, I was like, oh, I need to really bring that light up more towards the horizon. And so I did a little bit of work on this after I brought the camera down. So you'll see that when I do the close-up here in a second. I brought some of the highlights down as a vertical line towards the figure. I felt like it needed something vertical to connect the upper part to the figures. And then I also brought some of that cobalt teal into the larger figure on the left. And then because I made that vertical line with the light brighter, I wanted to make the hair on the child darker. So when we go to the close-up here, in a moment, I used cobalt teal as my color to do that. And it came out greenish because it activated the yellow that was underneath. But I really wanted the figure to stand out as the focal point. So I added that cobalt teal, and that helped it pop out against the yellow and the white that I added into that sunlight that's reflecting on the water. And I added a little bit of that cobalt teal into the figure there, the figure on the left, and darken the shadow a little bit. Super simple, super sketchy, really fuzzy lines. Look at the lines on that. The child there, they're all kind of all over the place. But really fun. It was fun to not worry, not think, not really, we'll just not really worry about anything and just have fun and enjoy it and create this little magical scene. So that's day 76. I'm going to go back to my booth prep. If you're local, I'd love to see you. We're expecting rain, but we're going to be there. So pop on by. I'm doing a gel print make and take. If you pop by my booth, we can paint together and stay out of the rain. And if you celebrate Mother's Day, I wish you a wonderful, joyful Mother's Day weekend. And if you don't, that's fine. I hope you have a great weekend regardless. Take care of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.